Hey, this and so this on here, want to just get some thoughts up on where should the AFC Championship Game be played. Now, you look at after the Cincinnati and the Buffalo game being canceled, it's been throwing everything, trying to put a lot of contingency plans up, like where the game should play if Cincinnati, Buffalo, or KC, any of those three were to make it. Because if the lower tier teams, the Baltimores, the Chargers, the Patriots, if any of those teams make it, this really is going to be a non-issue because then whoever's the higher seed, they'll just host the game. But if 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 Buffalo, KC, or Cincinnati make it, they all try to figure out like, okay, where's the ideal city to go? And as per reports, what I'm saying, Indies throwing their hand out saying, no, we don't want to host the game. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a dumb move. You know what I'm saying? But, whatever, that would have been ideally the best place for it to play, if you're gonna use those three. But if you gotta come up with uh a different locations. Now, if you want to say as far as not inconveniencing the fans to allow, the a good half and half or 60-40 type of, fandom at the game, then Nashville, Nashville be a cool site to have a game. You know what I'm saying? Is right there in the middle of all three of those teams. You know what I'm saying? So Nashville, I think, is a cool location. But if you don't wanna do that and have to go with a dome, you know what I'm saying? Then I mean, the only option is like, you gonna have to really do it like college or whatever. You gonna have to just, the game gonna have to go to someplace like, you know, I would say Atlanta. Atlanta's a good place for this shit to kick off at. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta's an NFC town, but it's right smack in the South where, the South is like rabid, football fans. So it's going to the place is gonna fill up. Trust and believe the people that missed out on, the Bengals didn't really have any home games but the first game last year, right? And so, KC's fans will definitely make it big because KC fans kind of travel, and then Buffalo fans, this their first time making it to the conference championship if that happens. So they gonna have a good, they'll have a good turnout. Trust and believe they got a bunch of fans that got this stash waiting for days like this to splurge on. Yeah, it's a championship game. They gonna go to it. You know what I'm saying? Even and it could be on the road, whatever, but they going to go, what I'm saying, like support their team or whatever. But I think, Nashville, Atlanta would be great cities to host the game, and they'll do a phenomenal job. And just the festivities for that week. You know what I'm saying? People will be able to like, okay, once they did say the the venue, you feel me? Like they have to tell people the venue like a couple of weeks in advance for it to make sense. So if they can at least tell you the city that's going to host it, like say if these three teams make it, this is the city, people gonna already start booking their flights and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So they'll already have stuff, like kind of lined up so it could be somewhat smooth. You know what I'm saying? But I think those two cities would be great. You can't never go wrong with Miami and I definitely think one of the Texas stadiums. You know what I'm saying? If Dallas is not playing in the conference championship game, then definitely AT&T or Reliant would definitely be a nice. Uh, it's in the middle. You feel me? It's right smack in the Texas. Not right smack in the middle of the country. Texas is affordable. Especially around this time of the year. You know what I'm saying? And it'll work out. You know what I'm saying? It'll like I said, it'll be a nice turnout from both fan bases. They'll both have a excellent opportunity to represent in that stadium. Like if you're gonna go to West, it might get more costly. You know what I'm saying? Like if you say you want to do it in Vegas or you want to do it in LA, even though LA is, you can't go wrong with that. But I definitely think that they should choose one of those cities. They don't need to do it outside, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could go with, I didn't even mention Minnesota, but Minnesota sometimes, snow can cause problems for flights to go in. So they should choose one of the southern climates, and that will make the most sense, you know what I'm saying? So if you want it outside, do Nashville for sure. But if you want to choose like just a weather not gonna be an issue field, you go Atlanta and you go Atlanta, you go Dallas or Houston as like those are my top options as far as game. I mean, you could even throw New Orleans in the mix. I wouldn't even be mad at New Orleans because that's another place that's in the middle of both. You know what I'm saying? So those five stadiums for sure. And then if you want to do Miami or whatever, but if it got to be in a neutral place, I think those few cities that I mentioned would be the best bet. And I think like it'll be a cool ass experience if you somebody from Buffalo and you don't never, come to the South. You know what I'm saying? I think you'll have a great time. You know what I'm saying? All the festivities from that Thursday to that Sunday, you'll have a great ass time. So if they choose any of those sites, that'll make the most sense. But like I said, it don't mean something nothing if one of the underdog teams win. Because if one of the underdog teams win, then they just whoever's at the top at on that AFC Championship weekend, they just host the game. So it's, like I said, it's gonna be a non-issue. It's only gonna be an issue if one of those top three make it. And so, like I said, if they throw the city out there early, people can already make their arrangements on how they're gonna do it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. All right, thanks for listening.